Welcome. Here I have the new AirPods Max Sky Blue version. I was able to pre-order it, but I got it like right the day before Christmas. But once I ordered, I think I'm having a lot of second thoughts. And looking at it even more, um, I might actually return it. Not might. I will return it without even opening it. I don't want to try it and then try to return and cause some return issues. But uh, based on all the good glowing reviews, I thought like this would be a good bet to spend $550 on it. But once I saw it, but once I put together all the cons from all the reviews, it seems like it's a deal breaker for me. At least there might be people who can get with it. I'm not a big Apple user, but I still wanted to give this a try just because I did like the design of it. It is premium materials and everything else, but rest of the things are really bothering me. That's the thing. I have seen like everybody has reviewed it, and the sound quality, the ANC, and all those things are really good. But coming down to all the cons, nobody has really put them together to say, "Hey, these are the all the things you have to look into too. It's not just one thing, especially when you're spending $550 plus tax. At least for me, it was almost $590. And if you want to do other things with these headphones, it's basically you spend extra or you just can't do it. So it's those are the options you have. So from judging all those things, I think I'm gonna just let this pass by, not even worth trying it, and then just use that money for something better. I do not have any ANC headphones currently. I have used the Sony's, but the last version, not the new version, and also I'm getting more interested in the Bose ones, or maybe Panda, but that's again $400, getting very close to this. Anyways, here are some of the things that are not so positive, at least in my opinion. And you guys should out there look out for these things. If any of these things do bother you, then I think you should just stay away from it and buy something that's cheaper or even half price. I've been looking at the Sony ones, the new ones. They're basically at $280 at this time. I think it's definitely worth trying those for sure. I mean, I'm not against Apple. It's just that the limitations are always there. And if you're not an Apple user, then obviously, if you're not in their ecosystem, it just doesn't make sense to use their products, especially something that has so many limitations as this one. Okay, to start with, first the stupid case. You guys have seen the memes out there. I'm not even sure how spending almost $600 justifies that case. How are we protecting the case? Yes, it is a smart case. You can let the headphone sit for 5 minutes, and or actually less than that, and it will go into low power mode, or you can just have the headphone sit on any flat surface, and it will go into low power mode. But how are these cases justified? How many? They're not protecting anything. They're just there to show some weird design. I mean, there is nothing to it, and I think that's something Apple dropped big time on. They could have protected some hard shell case. That would have been really good for these. In the long term, it helps a lot. And battery life, I think, for most part, it's decent. It's not directly comparable to any of the other ANC. It's about 20 hours using all the options on, spatial sound, ANC on, and everything else. But again, it's still less than the competition. That's what is another one. They should have done better with the size of the headphones. They could have definitely had an option to increase the battery life there. But this what you get. It's again, it's not bad. It's not a negative. It's not something you should be concerned. I doubt many people use the headphones at the same for that long at the same time. But again, it's comparing to what you're paying for it. And this design is simplistic. The colors are great. I did like this blue color, so that's the reason I was able to. I pre-ordered it, but it doesn't include many things that you expect from it. You get a mesh headband, at least from other reviewers. I can see that it's very comfortable. Well, what happens if the mesh tears? I mean, one small tear can just be a disaster for it, and it will just lose its form and shape. So that's something you have to look out for. Now, lightning connection. Yes, we all know that Apple's not gonna go away with it until they go all wireless. That's pretty much what they're going for at this point. But this one still has a lightning connection. I mean, how hard is it to do USB when your Mac Pros and iPads or iPad Pros have USB connection? It's not that hard, but they still decided to do a Lightning to USB-C, and the USB-C. Sorry, and the Lightning and the cable that comes with it is not a passive pass-through. I mean, how is that even? How does it even make sense? It's not what you expect from an expensive headphones. You have to buy an additional cable. That's, I believe, is $35. I don't know the actual length of that one. Hopefully, it's at least 4 feet. So that way you can really use it connecting to your computer or any other device. So that way, that's useful. But again, you're spending more on top of what you already spent. The next one is the crown. Like most touch headphones have touch sensitive controls. On this, you get the crown, and you do get a separate ANC button, which is at least good, because at least they thought about having it separate, because that's the most important aspect of these headphones. But you don't want to rotate something to access the basic controls. I mean, why can't they just put it right there, play, pause, stop? Whatever those three touch sensitive buttons, it's not that hard. It's not like they can't do it. It's, you got enough space on the headphones to do it. But again, you will end up with a crown. Now the comfort, I think that's the biggest one. These are great from many points of view when you're standing still, sitting. But if you're trying to do any sort of activity, they do tend to slide off. Not sure what Apple was thinking here, because not everybody's ears are made the same. People who have smaller ears, these will definitely come off when you're running, or they at least will become loose, or you have to keep adjusting them. So that's another thing. They should have had a little bit more of protection in the sense of against sliding. So that's another thing. So again, these are good to use when you're sitting and standing, but that's not what you always do. You have to do other things, especially for all the people who are working out and stuff like that, and they can't really use them. I wouldn't say they can't, but they can use them, but you have to keep filling with things to adjust it. So those are some of my main concern. And again, I knew most of these things before I purchased. I still wanted to, but then again, after waiting for it so long and pondering it and looking at the other reviews, maybe I shouldn't have. But I'm just hesitant to open it and then try them on. So I'll just return these and try to look for something that will work with my needs better than what this is, at least at this point. Maybe their second version will come out better, and I can give it a try then. But as for now, I think these are the things that I have noticed, and I think you should consider too if you're planning on buying these. Again, they're not readily available. I think they might be in stock later the end of the year or next month. But I definitely would say don't fork up and pay more money to the scalpers, because that's the big thing nowadays. But those are my thoughts. Please subscribe, hit the like button. That does help the small content creators. It gives us ability to do more, or it just helps us keep us more interested in doing more. And I'll see you in the next one. Thank you.